Ladies, listen, tonight we're gonna have some real talk. We're not gonna talk about hacks and recipes or the scale even, but we're gonna talk about what's actually holding most of you back. I've been looking through all the patterns. I've been watching the logs, the check-ins, the messages, and I wanted to talk to you ladies about what I see. Most of you are not failing because your body can't change. That's not why you're failing. Most of you are failing because you're quitting on yourself mentally before your body even gets a chance to respond. I hope you hear that. See, we're here for results. We're here for change. We're here for healing. We're here for muscle. We're here for confidence. But a lot of you, you're treating this like it's a hobby and not a mission. We can't treat it like a hobby. We got to realize this is our mission. This is why we are here. It's why we're here. Let me break it down like this. Consistency will always be perfection. It always does. Some of you are nailing it Monday through Thursday and then throwing it in the trash completely on Friday through Saturday and sometimes through Sunday. You're tracking sometimes. You're hitting workouts when it's convenient. You're drinking water when you remember. You're eating protein when it sounds good. And here's the thing. Your body doesn't respond to what you do when it's easy. It responds to what you do when it's not. If you want change, you don't have to be perfect. You have to be consistent. And we're missing the consistency part. It's not that we don't understand what our protein or our fiber or our water looks like. It's that we're not staying consistent. I've given you guys, some of you have been here a year, some of you more. And I've given you really the tools that you need. So you understand, some of you understand more than some physicians do about your nutrition, truthfully, because you've learned and we've studied here, right? So it's not that we don't know what to do. It's that we're not consistent. And right now, some of you are only consistent at one thing. And that one thing is starting over. We've consistently started over, and we've started over, and we've consistently quit and started over. This right here, this is a healing season. It's not a 30-day fix, ladies. And the truth is that you cannot out-train a wrecked gut. You just cannot do it. You cannot see abs when your hormones are shot. Changing your nutrition changes your hormones. It helps you balance out those hormones. You can't drop weight when your metabolism's been living on 1,000 calories and protein bars for 10 years. You just can't do it. And here's the thing, we've got to give our body time. We've got to give it time to heal. And we want to say, why am I not losing weight? Why am I this? And why am I not that? And we're drinking all weekend, or maybe it's just one day of the weekend. But you know what? We've got to change that. If we want something different, we've got to do something different. And we've got to give our body time. We do all these things to our bodies. We've got all these chemicals around us and we put them in us, and all the things that we do, the drinking and all the stuff that we do. And you know what? We've got to give our body time to heal. I've had that conversation with a lot of women, but recently with one who had been on the weight loss shot. She came off the weight loss shot and didn't understand, why am I not losing weight? Well, she'd been eating very few calories. And she thought, well, she's going to come on Bod Babes and magically she's going to lose the rest of her weight, because the weight loss shot really kind of quit working on her. She had muscle loss. She was feeling weak, barely eating anything. And she expected to come on Bod Babes and just see miracles happen. Well, about 2.5 months later of only gaining weight, she was pretty much ready to quit. She was upset. Why isn't it working for me? She was losing inches, but the scale kept going up. And I told her, you have to let your body heal. You have to get in the gym and work and eat your protein and get your calories up and not be afraid of your calories. Well, just recently, she started losing weight about 2.5 or 3 months in, somewhere right in there. And guess what? Now she's under 200 pounds. And some of you saw her put in our group, I'm under 200. I'm in the 100 somethings. And guess what? She's just being consistent. And that, I shouldn't say just, because that's a big deal. That's hard, especially when you don't see what you want to see. But we went toe to toe. We went toe to toe. But you know what she said? She said, I'm going to do it, Allie. I'm going to do what you said. And guess what she's seeing? She's seeing results, and it's awesome. It's time to let your body heal. It's time to let your body stabilize. It's time to let your body trust you. So you're not going to drop 10 pounds this week. I promise you're not. But if you eat right, and if you train right, and if you track it all, we will change your body. We will. Some of you say that you want to be toned, but you're lifting pink baby weights for 25 years. Not 25 years, but for longer than you should. You act like you're afraid to get strong. We're afraid of it. But let's be honest, ladies. If you want abs, if you want tight arms, if you want your thighs to lift and your glutes to pop, then why are you logging the same weights for 4 weeks in a row? You can't do that. Why do you put down on everything that your effort, you feel like this is the exercise, the workout that I give you is not challenging? And we've got deadlifts and sumo squats and all these things in there that Arnold Schwarzenegger himself would use to train. But to you, it's easy. And I know you're not stronger than Arnold. So what's the problem? The problem is the challenging of yourself, ladies. You have to give it effort. Man, when I go in the gym, it gets rough. It gets intense. Do you have to go as hard as me? No, but you've got to go hard. Your effort cannot be a 4 out of 10. You can't call a 4 out of 10 effort good. If you want to build muscle, you can't. If you want to be toned, you cannot say that. I want to say it really clearly. Muscle is not built in your comfort zone. If your last 2 reps don't feel hard, you're just exercising. You're not training. Progressive overload is not a suggestion if you want muscle. It is a requirement. And if you want a different body, you've got to give it a different stimulus. If you keep giving it the same stimulus all the time, you're not going to have change. Here's another one that I wanted to talk to you ladies about. Food is not the enemy, but the wrong food is. You can't live on chicken nuggets and cocktails and complain about being tired and bloated all the time. You just can't. You can't skip your tracking, skip meals, hit 40 grams of protein, and then ask why your metabolism, why, Allie, is my metabolism not working? Your body is trying to tell you something. Listen. Most of you are ignoring your body. You're ignoring those signals. You say that you're hungry, yet you won't prep real food. You say you want fat loss, but you're drinking every weekend. You say you want to tone up. Some of you are fueling like a college student during finals. Come on now, you got to eat. And we've got to stop treating our bodies like they're replaceable, because they're not. We've talked about this before. Your body is the only vehicle you cannot trade in. And here's another thing. You've got to want this more than you want your old life. You do. If you don't, nothing is going to change. You have to fight like hell. It's not easy. I know, I've been there. I'm still on my journey. I'm always striving for something. I'm always pushing towards another goal. And I'll tell you, it's hard. I get tired of fighting sometimes, but I always come back to it because I never want to stay where I am. I just want to get better. Not because I hate where I am, but because somehow I want to prove to myself that I can do better, that I can be better. And here's the part that no one wants to say out loud. And it's true. I don't have time. We say, I don't have time. But I'll tell you what I see that usually means. I don't value this enough yet. Did you hear that? Because when you value it, you fight. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, every one of us. And if we don't have time to take care of our bodies, then our priorities are out of order. Something is off. Because taking care of your body that God created and gave you as a personal gift, and there's only one of you, if you don't have time to take care of that, your priorities are off. And you need to look through your day and say, you know what? What am I doing? What am I making more of a priority than I am taking care of my body and my health? I hear all the time, I forgot to track. That really means I didn't make it a priority. It wasn't a priority for me. You know, if I want to get to my goal, let's just say I'm going to somewhere I've never been before. Let's say I'm going to drive to somewhere in California, Bakersfield. Okay. Never been, never driven from Tennessee to Bakersfield in my life. And I'm just going to try to get there without a map and without GPS. How long do you think that's going to take me? I'm going to have to stop and ask for directions. I'm going to be scared to ask for directions. I'm going to eventually find myself getting there, but it's going to take me a minute, right? But if I have GPS and I turn it on and it's working correctly, because one time it led me to the backwoods. I don't know where it was taking me. Anyway, I was a little scared. I was on some coal road. I don't even know where I was. So anyway, that was years ago when you had one that sat on your dash, you know, and that was GPS led me some crazy place. But if I have GPS today and I put it on with my destination in mind, just Bakersfield, California, I'm going to show up there pretty quick, just however long it takes me to drive from Nashville, Tennessee to Bakersfield, California. If I want to stop and take a rest in the middle, I can, but I know directly where I'm going because it leads me every step of the way. I get there quicker. That's what tracking does. That's why we do it. That's one of the reasons why we do it. We also, it helps us diagnose kind of what's going on. If you're tracking and you're not seeing results, or you know, tracking also helps you understand your diet, your fiber, if you're getting enough protein or not, all those things. And I hear so many of you ladies say, I slipped up again. And I'm going to tell you what that means to me. It just means I didn't have a plan. I didn't make a plan. It wasn't that important to me. I slipped up again. Oops. Well, honey, then it was not important to you. And that's the truth. If you slipped up again, I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. If you keep showing up with the same habits, the same excuses, the same patterns, you're going to stay right in the same body, period. That's it. We keep doing the same thing over and over again, quitting on the weekends, drinking. You've got a cheat meal, use it. That should be plenty. Here's the truth, too. I believe in some of you more than you believe in yourself right now. And I do know what's on the other side of all the excuses, the patterns, all the fears you have. But here's the thing. I cannot want this for you more than you want this for you. I want to see you succeed. But you've got to want it more than I want it. You have to decide that this matters more than quitting again. And so tonight, I'm asking you to draw a line in the sand and say, no more back and forth. You know, one of the worst things I've experienced in my life is what I believe limbo is called. is just staying in the same place, spinning your wheels, and it's just hell. And you're not comfortable there. And you want to get out of that place, but instead you stay there spinning your wheels, stopping and starting, second guessing, questioning, starting over. That is the hardest place to be. The way forward doesn't look like that. The way forward just means this is what I've got to do to get out of here. And this is what I'm going to do. No more excuses. No more back and forth. No more weekend excuses. No more telling yourself, I'll just start over again Monday. It's ruining you. It's causing you turmoil in your brain. It's causing you to not be at peace. It's causing you guys to just feel angry and upset and confused. Is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with my body? What is wrong with, but you're not staying consistent. You got to start, and you got to start now, and you got to stay in it. You can't keep jumping out. If you want the results, you've got to stay here and stay in the game. I'm going to be right here coaching you like hell, but you're going to have to get your head in the game. I cannot do it for you. I wish Bod Babes was like magic and that you could just show up here and pay for your monthly subscription. And just like that, boom, girl, you got it going on. I wish it was like that. Man, I'd be living in a much bigger house. And I wouldn't be tearing down my own wallpaper. I hate this wallpaper. Yeah, I could pay somebody to come tear down my wallpaper. But listen, I need you to fight for you. You know, you are a priority. You are your number one priority. If nobody feeds you, you're in trouble. And you're the only one that can put the food up to your lips. I just want you to put up the right things. Take care of you. Make you a priority. Nobody else is going to do that. You've got to make you a priority. And then you can give the best you to everybody else. I love what Michelle said at our Mental Edge Challenge. We had all been talking. Susan Brandt had said something, and then Michelle jumped in and she said, you know, when you're in an airplane, they tell you if there's an emergency and the mask dropped from the ceiling, the oxygen mask, you put your mask on yourself first before putting it on someone else. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot help another person. And we need to remember that taking care of ourselves is not selfish. You know, and taking care of ourselves, I think about when I had to make a decision as a 40-something, early 50-year-old woman. My friends all like to drink, and I like to drink. You guys have heard me talk. I like to drink too much. Okay. And I thought if I quit drinking, all of my fun would end. That the girls were going to think I was just no fun, and I wasn't going to have any fun. All of that was so untrue. I found something to put in my hand, like Wade said, just put something in your hand that you enjoy to drink. It doesn't have to be alcohol. Maybe it's a faux cocktail. For me, it was just, I had a Diet Coke. I loved a Diet Coke. And so I would have one of those, or unsweet tea, and I'd mix it up and put some lemon in there. And yeah, that's a normal drink, but I had it in my hand. I had just as much fun without all the regrets. You know, don't lie to yourself. You can have fun without all the drinks, because right now, some of you are letting that on the weekend as grown adults just stop you from getting to your goal. You either want to burn fat or you don't want to burn fat. And right now you have to dial it in. When we let Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or even just Friday and Saturday come from pizza and beer and alcohol and mixed drinks and all that, and then we wonder, well, I've stuck through it on Monday, Sunday through Thursday, Allie, So why am I not getting the results? Because the weekends still matter. You're undoing your deficit. Not only that, with the alcohol, your body has to prioritize that alcohol first before it can prioritize moving fat out of your body. If it doesn't prioritize taking care of that alcohol, then you're going to die. It's a poison. So your body has to process that first before it can process fat loss. And sometimes that takes 24, 48 hours, depending on how much you drank. So if this is important to you, which you're here, you're right here, then get your head in the game. Quit causing yourself to be in this limbo place of turmoil where you take one step forward and two steps back. Keep moving forward, even when you don't see what you want to see. Keep moving forward, because I'm going to tell you, a lot of times it's an illusion. Just like we go into the gym and we think, I'm just so weak today. I just feel so weak. And Wade said, you're not. That's all in your head. I was like, no, I just feel weak. Well, last week you could lift that much, and this week you can't lift that much. Why can't you lift that much this week if you could last week? If anything, you should be stronger this week than you are last week. So get over there and lift it, Allie. Oh, I can't do it. And sometimes legitimately I can't, but if I try more times than not, I can do it still, but it's in my head. And it's just like that with getting to your body goals. Sometimes I just think, I do not see it. I do not see it at all. I don't see any changes. The scale looks the same. My inches look the same. I don't see it. And I am so tempted to do what I used to do and just say, screw it. It's not working for me. Because I still have those times, ladies, when the scale isn't moving, when the inches don't look like they're moving, and I look in the mirror and I feel like nothing's changed. That still happens to me. But I know the process, and I know if I just dial it in, if I don't let my head game get off and just go eat a pizza for no reason, 2 or 3 pizzas, this lasagna and all this stuff, and have mixed drinks, because I know that if I keep staying consistent, there will come a time when I will look in the mirror and I will go, oh, that's what I've been working for. But if you keep jumping ship, you're not going to get there. You got to trust the process. So I hope that you have heard my rambling, because ladies, this is important. You are important. And you know, here at this meeting, I have some of the most committed ladies. I do. I have some of the most committed ladies right here. And you show up every Tuesday. And I'm so glad you do. But some of us still get in that place. We still do. And I want to see you win. I do. I would love for Bod Babes to be around for the next 10 or 15 years. And you just to be here because I'm at my goal, Allie, but I just like the community. I would love that. But I want you to get to your goal. I don't want you struggling for 10 years. Can you imagine struggling like that? It's too much of a mental battle. What we're doing, ladies, what we're doing is hard. We're not average women. As I look around Bod Babes, you are not average. You are not the typical 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old woman. You're not. You're here fighting. You're fighting like heck. And you know what? That's awesome. You're not typical. But here's the thing. You can't have your foot back here in this world. One foot moving forward. You can't. You're either going to stop or you're going to move forward, because that in between place, man, that is getting you, and it's wearing you out. It's tearing you down. It's breaking your confidence, and you got to break that. And you got to say, I'm either in or out. And I hope to God that you choose to just get all in. Get all in. You're worth it. Your goals are worth it. Rebuild your confidence in yourself. You are worth it. Like I said, you're not like that. Find value in not being there. We don't want to judge. I was once there. I didn't give two craps about what I did to my body and how I felt. It's like I woke up and I said, I'm done being that broken version of myself. I'm done. And I've got to quit playing the games because it's killing me, mentally killing me, makes me feel like such a failure. I've got to move forward. And that's what I did. And that's hard. Moving forward is so hard, ladies. But staying back there, fighting and struggling like that, that is hard. And we've got to keep moving forward. It's the only way to go forward. It's time to be the best version of us, the best version of ourselves. No more playing around. Draw a line in the sand and say, this is it. I'm done and I'm moving forward. I don't care how I feel. I'm going to remove things that are not my main priority, because these things right here that you list in a note to yourself are my priorities. And if things do not fall in with my priorities, those things need said no to. I've got to look at them and I've got to say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. That's hard. But you've got to make yourself a priority and your goals a priority, and understand what your priorities are, and then remove the things that are not priorities. We do lots of things, ladies, but a lot of those things are not priorities. And we let them fill and take the place of our main priorities. And then we have all these regrets. I want you to look at your life and I want you to say, what am I doing? Look at your day from top to bottom. What am I doing that is not a priority, that I have put before my priorities? And I want you to start thinking about, how do I remove that out of my life? It might hurt somebody's feelings. It might make somebody angry. Other people aren't going to like it. But here's the thing, they'll get over that, because with myself here, I want to feel confident. I want to feel like I'm doing what I am supposed to be doing. I want to be proud of myself. I'm not here to be a people pleaser. I'm here to love others. But for me to love as best I can means I show up as the best version of me, the healed, strong version of me. All right, ladies, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Allie.
Thank you. Bye.